right here. At home. Protect your out. We put the work in. Let's finish. Come on, man. Let's do this. Family up here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
You see, we dream chase, because that's all we was given to start with. Then we realized the dream was obtainable. Now look at us.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Main Thing Podcast Presents. I'm your man, Big Huss, the one you trust, bringing you all your Philadelphia Eagles latest. Now, look, we're officially at the finish line of the regular season. Week 18 is here. The Eagles are playoff bound. And instead of chaos or panic or desperation, what we're seeing out of Philadelphia is something very deliberate. Calculated rest, controlled risk, and a clear eye towards January. Now, the Eagles have just released their final injury report ahead of Sunday's regular season finale against the Washington Commanders, right? And it's to confirm what we all suspected all week, right? Nick Sirianni is manufacturing a bye week. Rest is big. But here's the twist. This isn't a meaningless game. There's stakes here. Seeding's involved, and there'll be starters who dress, some who don't play, and some who are on snap counts. So today we're going to break it all down from the injury report, why the Eagles are comfortable resting starters this week, why the game matters for Tanner McKee, the roster maneuvering behind the scenes, Jalen Carter's dominant return, and why rest still makes sense, and one lingering concern heading into the playoffs, the offense and first downs. But before we get into the meat and potatoes, hey, please make sure that you're liking, commenting, you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss when me and Mr. Owens hit y'all with these videos. So let's get right into it, right? Starting with the injury report, as we always do. So the Eagles issued their third and final injury report on Friday ahead of their Week 18 matchup against Washington, and it's pretty telling. 6 players already ruled out. That's D tackle Jalen Carter, offensive tackle Lane Johnson, who's been out for several weeks now. Nakobe Dean, out with a hamstring. He's been healing up and nursing. Edge Jalen Phillips with an ankle. Dallas Goedert with a knee. And Marcus Epps, who popped up in the middle of the week with a concussion. So let's start with the most surprising name on the list, Jalen Carter. Why is he out? He was just out for several weeks, and now he's back out. Carter was a late addition to the injury report on Thursday with a hip injury, something new unrelated to the shoulder procedures that he's had to sideline him earlier in the season. And while that raised some eyebrows, the reality is Carter was never really expected to play. He did enough in Week 17, dominating Buffalo up front on the defense and special teams, and there was no incentive to push the man more than needed to be pushed. Look, he's our most disruptive interior defensive lineman, and we need him healthy come the playoffs. Now, Lane Johnson, he remains sidelined as well. He hasn't played since Week 11, but was spotted during media and attended portions of practice for the first time in a few weeks. He didn't participate, and that's by design. The Eagles are clearly lining him up for a playoff return. Once again, this is an old head, paved the lanes, and seen a lot of football, y'all. So rest is more crucial for him than reps right now. And then you have Nakobe Dean, who continues to recover a hamstring injury that lingered him in the Week 16 matchup. And with Jahad Campbell playing at such a high level, there's no reason to rush Dean back. Let him rest up. Once again, these are players who we're going to need to make a deep playoff run. Now, the midseason addition, Jalen Phillips, look, because of the timing of the trade from Miami, Phillips didn't get a bye week in the season. He played 17 straight games. That is a long-ass season, okay? Giving him a breather before the postseason is just smart. And you've seen really over the past couple weeks in games, he's been getting a little nicked up. So Jalen Phillips has been a tremendous addition to this defense, and we need him ready to rock. Now, Dallas Goedert, he was listed with a knee injury, and like last season when he played in Week 18 to ramp up, this year feels a little different. He's banged up, close to free agency, having a career year, at least touchdown-wise. The Eagles don't need to risk it. And then you have finally Marcus Epps, who stepped in for injured Makuba, who suffered a concussion during Thursday practice. But I really think this happened during the game. If you watch the game, there was a time where Marcus Epps came downhill on one, I believe it was a running back, and kind of got up a little wobbly and fell back down. I believe this was a delayed concussion for Marcus Epps. But after reporting symptoms to the team, He's placed in concussion protocol, which means he will miss Sunday, and that's fine. Get this man some extra rest. He's been playing pretty solid since inserted into the lineup. His availability for the Eagles' first playoff game remains to be seen, though. Now, there was
I was going to make a lot of money doing what I wanted to do. I went after it, and it was a struggle to achieve it. But you know what? I caught that bitch. Dream chasing.
There's one player who was listed as a full participant on the injury report, and that was rookie sensation Jahad Campbell. Campbell was limited during Wednesday's walkthrough, but was upgraded to a full go as he's worked through the minor back and shoulder issues that he's had, and this matters. The rookie played every snap damn near. I don't like how I said that. The rookie played heavy snaps in Week 17, has been one of the Eagles' biggest in-season revelation. If he doesn't play a full game Sunday, getting him some work keeps his momentum going, keeps him ready for the playoffs. At the end of the day, as high as the level as Jahad Campbell has been playing at, he's still a rookie, ladies and gentlemen. He has some big football ahead of him. We need him ready to go. Also worth noting, Cameron Williams was removed from the injury report entirely after being activated from the injury reserve. So while the game features plenty of backups, it's not going to be a preseason level product, right? It won't be as sloppy. This is still a meaningful evaluation of what's happening. And there's still a lot on the table. By now we know the big picture, right? The Eagles have clinched a playoff spot. They're guaranteed at least one home game. And while the number 2 seed is still technically on the table, Nick Sirianni is prioritizing, health. And honestly, I can't disagree with the decision. We've been banged up this season more than others for real. So in this year, I think that rest is paramount. Jeff McClain reported earlier this week that the Eagles were expected to rest Jalen Hurts amongst multiple starters in Week 18, and that's exactly what's happening. Per Zach Berman, the plan is layered, right? So it kind of goes like this. Some starters will rest entirely. Some will be limited. Some will dress but not play. This isn't a preseason game, and the Eagles only have so many active players available, but it's a controlled environment. And if you're wondering about milestones like Devontae Smith only being 50 yards under 1,000 yards receiving for the season, remember this. This is the same guy who held out Saquon Barkley last year for out of one game when the rushing record was within reach, and the Eagles won a Super Bowl. So rest over milestones, rest over added reps when it's not needed. This tells you everything that you need to know about Nick Sirianni and what he is prioritizing. Now, this brings us to Tanner McKee, who's expected to start and place a QB1 Jalen Hurts. Unlike last year in his Week 18 cameo, this one actually matters a bit, right? If the Eagles win and the Bears lose, Philadelphia can jump from the number 3 seed to the number 2 seed in the NFC. Now, speaking to NBC and Sports Philadelphia reporters, McKee embraced the moment saying this. Obviously super excited for the opportunity. Each week I've been preparing like I'm going to play in case I do. It's obviously fun when something's on the line, right? So he's embracing the situation. It's not just anything type game. He knows what's at stake. You know what I'm saying? And he's preparing like it. This is the most meaningful game that McKee has played in his young NFL career, right? And the Eagles clearly have trust in their second team roster and McKee enough to believe that they can still go out here and get a win, right? Even with some things on the line. And honestly, I love to see that. That shows the trust and development in the player. You're right. You're trusting where they are. You're trusting where they've been, right? You're trusting the maturity level that they can go out here and get things done, the competitive edge that they'll play with, right? But behind the scenes, the Eagles have been busy. So after releasing long snapper Charlie Hewlett, who cleared waivers and was re-signed to the practice squad, he'll be temporarily elevated for Sunday's game. To make room, we released defensive end Titus Leo. Now, Philadelphia still has, I believe, one open roster spot and could sign a player like Patrick Johnson or Andre Sam, both of whom are out of regular season evaluation eligibility and can be signed outright. They'll need depth. Now, this isn't a 90-man roster as you see in the preseason. This is a real roster. And if I'm being completely honest, if it was between Patrick Johnson or Andre Sam, look, man, I'm a PJ fan, man. I'm a Patrick Johnson fan. I love what the energy that this guy brings, the high motor. Get him out there and get him some reps. For all we know, you might need him during this postseason run. It's just I love the energy that PJ plays with, so I'm always be in his corner, right? Now let's speak on Jalen Carter. Hey, Bradman's dominance played out of his mind, right? Even though he's out Sunday, his Week 17 performance was special. You're talking about in his first return after missing 3 games and immediately made his presence felt on defense, on special teams, whatever the case may be. His presence was there. Arnie got NFC Special Teams Player of the Week honors, man. Congrats to you, Brad, man, for real. It's his first career Player of the Week award and makes him the 4th Eagle to win one this season. Every player who's won one, I believe, has been on defense. Players such as Week 3, Jordan Davis, Special Team Award. You had Week 4, Quinyon Mitchell. I got a defensive award. Jordan Davis again with a defensive award. You had Cooper DeJean with a defensive award in Week 16. I believe he was also the LFG player of the game. And then Week 17, you had Jalen Carter showing up on special teams. Look, these players are straight out here balling, man, getting it done. It's great to see them getting the recognition for the hard work that they put in and just their awesome play on the field. Carter's impact blocking kits, collapsing pockets, and changing the game alongside Jordan Davis has been massive, man. This Georgia duo has really put on and showed out. Like, I got to be completely honest. But that's exactly why they're resting him as well. I think in that Week 17 debut, after missing several weeks, Jalen Carter showed everything he needed to show. There was nothing more the Eagles needed to see from him. They realized, hey, man, my man's in form. Let's rest him, get him a little bit of a breather, 2-week breather, so he can be just that much healthier. So I believe last week he might have been playing around 80% of his full health. Let's get him as close to 100 as we can. Now, one last concern. And this has to be on the offense and the first downs, right? Look, the lingering issue heading into the playoffs is offensive consistency. Offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo addressed the struggles after the Bills game, pointing specifically to early downs. Look, him saying it was the first down thing again. We had inefficient first downs, put us in second and longs, third and longs. All we need is one spark. But how about this? Get a little bit more creative on first downs. The reason first down and second down aren't working out is because it's too predictable. Run on first down. Run a quick game on second down. Right? Then you're in a known passing down. If you go wide like we do, we know you're passing. If Will Shipley enters the game, then guess what? We know you're running a draw or something like that, or a delayed handoff. It's too predictable. So that's why you're not having a success on first downs. We have to get more aggressive on first downs. We have to get more creative on the early downs. That'll keep you out of those third and long situations, right? So I think him saying that, it was just like, duh, like we already knew that. You got to do better. And this hasn't been just a one-game issue. It's been something the Eagles have been dealing with damn near all year. And they need to solve it fast because, hey, we're in January. So look, yes, the Eagles are resting players. Yes, Week 18 looks a little different. But don't confuse caution with complacency. This team is positioning itself for a playoff run, and it's clear in how they're laying it out. Trusting in depth, protecting its starters, and still giving itself a chance to improve in seeding, right? That's smart football all the way around from Nick Sirianni, Jeff Lurie, Howie Roseman, right? And now the real season begins. After this Week 18 matchup, hey, that's when the real football starts. That playoff football, it's going to hit a little different. It's make or break, do or die. There are no next weeks once you get to the playoffs. So we have to be in the best form we could be, X's and O's wise, schematically, but also health wise. Now, once again, hey, please make sure that you're liking, comment, and you're subscribed to the page. And I really should have started with this. Happy New Year. Hey, it's 2026. Hope everybody brought it in swell. I hope everybody is doing great, having a great week leading into a tremendous weekend. once we get this Philadelphia Eagles victory right with our backups, hey, stay locked into the channel. Stay locked into your birds. Once again, if you don't know, I go by Big Hus. This is the Main Thing podcast where we keep the main thing the main thing. Now, look, keep your eyes glued out for that preview tomorrow from me and Mr. Owens. Enjoy your Friday night. Stay safe. This flag is fly till we die. We out.
It was I was gonna make a lot of money doing what I wanted to do. I went after it, and it was a struggle to achieve it.